In an era where everyone thinks their opinions are so damn important, I'm here to give you a little piece of my mind. Welcome to Unaffiliated the Podcast with your host, B. Seth. Let's go.
If you don't know, we're talking about the deadly, I'm going to call it a massacre in Buffalo, New York, right?
Correct.
At a grocery store called Tops, my bad. My apologies. Basically, this kid put like a GoPro, one of those cameras, on his head, and he showed him walking into a grocery store with a fucking AR, and he's just killing people. It looked like a Call of Duty clip, to be honest. Like, if you're a gamer and you've ever watched a Call of Duty montage or like live stream, and you're just watching the dude go crazy.
First person view.
First person. Like, you're watching a Call of Duty game when this dude pops in the grocery store, and this is real life. And
Kill Street, guys.
I've seen the video. You've seen the video. A lot of people I know have not seen the video. I would not advise you to see the video. It's up. I mean, unless that kind of shit just doesn't really bother you, but I don't. Just out of respect for the families and shit, I would say don't do that shit. It's up, man. This 18-year-old kid pretty much drove 2-3 hours from whatever state he was from.
This man picked the highest population African American community that was, I guess, the most reasonable drive away from him, that had the strictest gun laws, to where he knew it'd be like, the least probability of somebody
shooting back at him.
Somebody, shooting back at him. And acted this out. And he staked it out, I don't know if it was a day or two or a month or two or what. Either way, he was there before he went and did that, pretending as a homeless man.
Didn't the security guard stop him the last time?
Something like that, pretending as a homeless man, panhandling for change, pretending to be homeless. His parents are engineers. Both of his parents are civil engineers.
Yeah.
He drove here, 18 years old. Why the fuck are you not in school? Another topic.
Facts.
Drove here.
Well, it was on a Sunday, right? Was it on a Sunday morning or some shit?
When he drove the first time?
Well, recently, when the shooting happened.
When the shooting happened, that was a Saturday morning, more or less.
Damn.
But the when he staked it out, I don't know what that was. Either way, drove here pretending to be a homeless man, panhandling for change. The whole time he's secretly okay,
I'm about to kill these.
One security guard here, two.
That's insane,
here,
bro.
One entrance right here. He's like, all right, making all these mental notes. Goes back home, loads up.
Oh, and mind you, he's writing in his manifesto the whole time. He talked about how that security guard stopped him the first time in his manifesto.
He said, "Close call."
They
almost got me.
And disgusting act, man. It almost looked unreal, like we were saying earlier. It's like, yo, oh my goodness. And let's just get to the really big takeaways here for me. Well, number one takeaway, what the like, how many times do we have to see blatant white racist boys / young men, incels, that means involuntarily celibate, everybody, but that's neither here nor there. Who cares? How many times have we seen somebody like him, like Dylan Roof, just go in places and just start killing black people for no reason? And you know what's interesting about this? When they released the victims' names, they were all most of them were 60 plus old black people. That's like our parents,
86 years old.
That's our parents and grandparents, just going to the grocery store.
That nigga is a fucking coward, bro. Watching that video, I mean, I don't even want to describe it, but if you have seen the video, if you watch it, you see how he kills them. Coward, coward,
so disrespectful.
Clearly they weren't suspecting.
Disgusting. Ugh. And then another key takeaway, when he saw the white man on the floor say, "Don't do it," he said, "Oops, I'm sorry," or "I'm sorry."
That did it for me, man.
He snapped out of it when he saw a white dude. But for some reason,
told him, "Sorry, bro."
Bro. But for some reason, people are still trying to spin this as if it wasn't a race motivated crime.
I don't like that whole Fox News and everybody else trying to say, "Hey, this is clearly a mentally ill person. He's clearly mentally deranged." I don't believe that shit. If you read his manifesto,
Premeditated.
very
Premeditated.
well calculated, very well thought out, very well MLA format type.
I was talking to my brother yesterday, actually. He was, or 2 days ago, and I was telling him, we were talking about it, and I was like, "Yo, do you think he's gonna get away with insanity?" He said, "Yo, just from the legal perspective, hell no. Just because of this shit you just said, like the fact that manifesto was so intricate,
very detailed.
There's no way. But they're gonna find a way to defend this boy, man. That's what's crazy.
What bothers me, as far obviously, the act is heinous, right? Really, 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 really sad.
Yeah, and condolences to the families, man. Like, shit, I hate to even talk about this if somebody.
2 different topics that I want to talk about.
Shout out to y'all.
One, leading into the aftermath of how society reacts to it. But before we even get into that, this man, I don't understand. He's 18 years old. You ain't got no money. I own guns. I own quite a bit. They're expensive. An AR-15 is $500 minimum.
Yeah.
And that's for a one.
And his decked out, low key. Or was it?
He had a Bushmaster XM 112, whatever the fuck.
And back to the racist shit. Let's not get into all the writing that was on the gun, the N-word, and here are your reparations.
Call of Duty decals like on his damn gun and shit, but
charms.
Racial slurs. If he picked the worst one in the store that's bullshit, might jam on him when he shoot it. The worst one, $500 out the door. So
where's this nigga getting his money?
Body armor.
He had body
Plates
armor.
is not cheap. This stuff costs money. Like adults have a hard time affording this stuff.
Yeah.
He's 18 years old and got this damn arsenal, full body gear, helmet, and everything. My questions in my head is where did he get this money from? You had to have ordered this stuff and let it come in over time and just stock it all up, put it to the side until all your pieces get here and whatnot. I want an interview from his parents. You weren't seeing this. Where was this storing body armor and AR-15s in your house? And he ain't got no money. Yeah. It don't make sense to me.
What do we think is gonna happen to him?
I'd say, just off the top of my head, off rip thinking, he gets insanity. They put him in some. I don't think they're gonna do it for the next 10, 15 years.
The more and more I hear about, I don't know if that's even feasible at this point. Insanity.
Hey, it's America.
He has the
insane.
complexion for the.
They'll say he's insane and put him in a damn psych ward or something and dope him up for 10, 15 years. He gonna come out even more up than when he was in there.
I'm not a believer of the death penalty, but if that was my mother,
let's get into that.
My grandmother, my father, I would personally do what I had. Street justice. That's what the nigga call it, right? Street justice. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about what the law is talking about. I know people who are connected to those victims. They probably trying to get that street justice. And I do not blame them for that at all.
I understand people that don't agree with the death penalty. You feel like humans should not control whether a person lives or dies. The premise of why people believe that, I understand. Yeah. But from how I was raised, I'm raised by blue collar. My dad's a welder. My mom works for Boeing. My dad's a blue collar. Never seen a college. He's real down to earth, country type dude. He don't believe in that shit. He believe and that's how I believe. If you kill somebody just blatantly like that, just heinous, just killing innocent people, you, in my opinion, and this is why I support the death penalty, in my opinion, you cannot rehabilitate somebody like that. That is a sickness in the
you
humans.
Went past the line.
You need to. The only way you could put him in prison for 30 years, he's when you release him after 31 years, he's still gonna be thinking about killing mother. You cannot fix that, and so you need to. And this is probably a hot take. You need to cull that from society.
See, I think the only difference between you and my approach on that is I don't want it to be legally acceptable to deem people who should die, because you know, like we said earlier, everything has like a yin and a yang, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna fuck some niggas up. Also, that should not be getting fucked up. Like their lives are gonna be putting on a chopping block off of a legality
That's true.
that should not be in place. Now, again, I'm all about street justice. If somebody killed my mom like that in the grocery store, I will run down the same night.
Bro.
Fuck it. But, you know, if we talk about all this death penalty shit, like, see, this is one of those instances where I'm like, okay, cops, you're here now. Do your job like you do with everybody else.
Like,
that's when it should have happened. That should have happened right there. We shouldn't be debating.
Clips.
We shouldn't even be debating this right now. As soon as they popped up, that should have been in the dirt.
I don't blame. It's irresponsible. I don't blame white people for what. I don't say, oh, white people are responsible.
I think
for what he did in this grocery store.
That's the misconception that a lot of people have.
I don't believe that. Yeah. But acknowledge that shit, bro. Acknowledge
like, yo, that's fucked up.
That's fucked up. And that's all you gotta say. We ain't gotta
that's
talk
fucked up. Keep
we
moving.
ain't gotta talk about it for the rest of it. You could say that one sentence.
Yeah.
And go the whole 8 hours, not talk about that shit at all. I'm cool with you.
Be sure to follow Unaffiliated the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and now on YouTube.